Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you guys are all doing well. Today we're gonna be taking a look at the Burton Custom Camber snowboard for the 2021-2022 season. I'm gonna go through all the tech and I'll share my thoughts on how it felt out on snow as well. All right guys, the Custom is a classic on the Burton lineup. It's an all-mountain freestyle focused snowboard, or what I would call a do-it-all style snowboard. It's a directional twin with a full positive camber profile. So from contact point to contact point, those widest points on the nose and tail, it's gonna run full positive camber, giving you that more stable, energetic, precise feel to it. And it runs a directional shape. So outside the front contact point, you're gonna have a little bit of a longer nose than tail, help give the board a little bit more surface area up front if you do find yourself in some soft snow or out on a pow day. And the reference stance on the channel system here is actually a 1/2 inch setback as well. So if you do run it at the reference stance, that's gonna help shift that weight back a little bit to keep the nose up in powder. But if you're doing more all mountain exploring, you're gonna spend some time in the park, you can shift that stance forward a 1/2 inch, and then it's gonna ride pretty much like a true twin. It does have a twin flex. So if you shift the stance forward, really the only directional aspect you have to worry about is that slightly longer nose, but in the park or on hard pack, it's pretty much gonna feel like a true twin snowboard. You're also gonna find Burton's FROSTBITE edge tech on the Custom. So right around where you mount the bindings, you're gonna find a real mellow added contact point in the side cut. So if you find yourself on ice or some really firm snow, it's gonna help to bite down a little bit more, gonna work with that camber to give you some solid edge hold, as well as a sintered base. So sintered bases are known to be harder, faster, and more durable compared to an extruded base, but you wanna make sure you're waxing this thing regularly to maintain that glide that you're used to. Other than that, the Custom's gonna have infinite ride as well, where Burton pretty much takes the board and puts it in a machine that just flexes it over and over again to break it in for you. So right out of the wrapper, it's gonna have the same feeling that it should have for the life of the snowboard. There's not gonna be a break-in period or anything like that. As far as the flex goes, I felt this board was a little bit stiffer than the last time I rode it. I'd say the flex is just a little bit on the stiffer side of medium, comes through with a pretty stable feel to it. It's not gonna be the easiest to butter and get presses out of. It has a very snappy, energetic feel to it. So what I mean by that is that when you do try to load tension up in the board, say you're trying to do a tail press or a nose press or just load up for an ollie, but this board's gonna fight back a little bit. It's gonna hold tension and energy very well. You're gonna really be balancing on that outside edge of your foot. So it's a little bit more difficult to find those balance points. It's not gonna be the easiest board to butter with, but it is gonna come through with a lot of energy, a very responsive feel, and a lot of pop as well. That was a big highlight for me. Whether you're ollieing on a feature, hitting a roller, a jump, whatever it may be, you're gonna get a lot of energy and pop out of the Custom Camber. And when it comes to carving, I found a really locked in, precise feel with this board. This is a board you can really get up to speed comfortably. You're not gonna get a bunch of chatter in the nose and tail. It's gonna keep you nice and in control, even when you're going really fast. So gonna be a great all mountain explorer, great for carving, gonna come through with a lot of stability as well. So that's gonna help you out in those higher impact situations, whether that's in a turn, on a drop, on natural features, or in the terrain park hitting larger features or jumps as well. We did have a little bit of fresh snow out there for the test, and like I said before, this is a directional twin, so it's got that slightly longer nose up front. The reference stance is set 1/2 inch back, so those directional features are gonna help you out a little bit in powder, and I did ride this board at the reference stance for the test. Didn't really feel too weird in the park either. Still definitely freestyle friendly if you do ride it at that setback stance. With that slightly stiffer flex and full positive camber profile, I wouldn't say this is gonna be an amazing powder board. You can definitely make it work if you're out there on a deeper day, or if you're trying to use this as a one board solution for everything. But if you are out on a deep day, I definitely would set that stance back a little bit further, just to help you out a little bit more, keep that nose up a little bit easier. The overall feel on this board is like a more powerful charger kind of board. So it's gonna power through that soft snow since it's lacking some of those more directional features that you'll find on more powder specific boards. So it's definitely still gonna be fun. It's gonna work a little bit better than a proper true twin out on a POW day, but I wouldn't say this is gonna really replace a proper POW board in the quiver. I did spend a good amount of time in the park testing this board, and I feel like it really doesn't make much of a compromise when it comes to freestyle riding. I found the overall feel is slightly more aggressive, maybe a little bit more jump leaning. It's gonna come through with a lot of stability, gonna be able to handle the biggest features in the park, be able to handle those higher impact landings and things like that, offering some really good stability in both the nose and the tail, you know, whether you're landing regular or switch. The only thing you really got to watch out for is that slightly longer nose as you're, you know, coming off the lip of a jump or coming onto a rail or something like that, but it's not a super long nose, so that really wasn't even a concern for me. And even though it is a little bit stiffer, it's not so aggressive that it feels kind of off or twitchy on smaller features or trying to do more technical rails. So overall, I'd say maybe a little better suited for jumps and larger features, but still gonna feel great on pretty much any feature you come across, whether that's in the park or you're out there looking for natural features. At the end of the day, the custom Camber is going to be one of the most versatile boards out there, one of the longest running boards on the Burton lineup, and something you can really just go do anything with, you know, whether you're trying to go ride alpine, hit trees, do some carving, ride park, jumps, rails. This is a board that's going to come through with a solid, stable, high performance feel to it and going to be capable pretty much anywhere that you take it on the mountain. I wouldn't recommend this board to a true beginner. It's just a little bit too aggressive. It's gonna make learning those fundamentals a little bit more difficult for you. But for intermediate and up, if you're looking for something that's versatile, gonna have a good feel to it on any day, regardless of the conditions, definitely consider the Burton Custom Camber. I'll have it linked below if you want to read more about it. And if you've had a chance to ride this board, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. You can leave any questions for me down there as well. Drop a like if you got some value out of this video, and subscribe for more board reviews, guys. I appreciate it. See you guys in the next one.